How's it going, guys? Kawasaki here, back at you again with a Stardom video. Today I'm going to be covering my thoughts and I guess my predictions on the Stardom 5-Star Grand Prix for this year. Unlike last year, they are doing things a little different, and there's going to be brand new faces, a lot of stuff going into this one. So without any further ado, let's get started with this. So one of the big differences that they're doing with this year compared to last year is within the red and blue stars, there's two groups. So there's red stars A, red stars B. Same with the blue stars. We have blue stars A and blue stars B. So I believe they're doing the round robin where everyone's going to face it off against each other, and the winners for these two blocks will be taking each other on in a one-on-one, and the winner of each block, so let's say for example the winner of red stars A, say like Micah takes on Mayu Iwatani, the winner of that match will be taking on the winner of Blue Stars A / Blue Star B, and obviously the winner of that will win the 5-Star Grand Prix. But to kind of give a little bit of a basic insight on what the 5-Star Grand Prix is, it is a round robin tournament. I believe they're only doing 1 month this year, unlike last year where they spread this whole tournament out within 2 to 3 months, where there were a lot of injuries, people were out, and it was, last year's was a little bit messier, just because of all the injuries. So this year they scaled it back, running only 1 month, and they're running 2 groups instead of just one big, like, chunk of a group. So each match is, I believe, it's like a 15 or a 20-minute time limit. Pinfalls are 2 points. Draws, either a double countout, a double knockdown, or a time limit draw. Each participant will receive 1 point, and if you lose, obviously you get 0 points. So there's the basic rules of the 5-Star Grand Prix. And the participants for this year is going to be, for the Red Stars A, we have Micah, Hazuki, Ruaka, Natsupoi, Konami, Minami, I believe she's from Sendai, and Yuna Mizumori. Yuna Mizumori qualified for this tournament from winning a preliminary tournament where they did a single elimination tournament between a bunch of others, people from the Stardom roster. Yuna Mizumori won one side, and Ruaka got into this because Natsuko Tora, who was the original participant for this, said, I don't want it. Ruaka can take my place. I have no need to be in this tournament. So that's how Ruaka got him. And for Red Stars B, we have Mayu Iwatani, Tom Nakano, Momo Watanabe, Azumi, Meisera, Saya Ida, and Tomoka Inaba. For the Blue Stars A side, we have Saria Nell, Starlight Kid, Siri, Xena, Koguma, Anna J, and Miyu Amasaki. Miyu Amasaki won a tournament just like Yuna Mizumori, so that's how she got into here. And Anna J got announced at the last Stardom pay-per-view. Last but not least, Blue Stars B. We have Suzu Suzuki, Saya Kamatani, Hanan, Saki Kashima, Rana Yagami, Tekla, and Risa Serra. So I believe for debuts, like their first year entering, I believe it's Ruaka, Minami, Yuna Mizumori, Meisera, I think Saida, Tomoka Inaba, I believe Xena, Anna Jay, Miyu Hamasaki, Rana Yagami. I believe Tekla was supposed to be in last year, but she was injured. So those are the debut, or the people that are participating for the first time ever. And giving my, I guess, thoughts on these, like the groups. With Micah losing the World of Stardom Championship, like literally at the final stretch before all this starts, she has something to go on for this. She has a reason to win this, is to regain her World of Stardom Championship back from Natsuko Tora.
Oh, no,
So the winner of this tournament receives a title shot at the year-end pay-per-view. I believe it's All-Star Grand Queendom. And with Natsupoi just winning the Wonder Belt, it would be kind of cool if she won the whole thing, challenges for the Red Belt. But I personally believe Micah has a lot going into this tournament, at least for the Red Stars. I know Konami recently just came back to a Wado hate. Not gonna lie, I fucking hate the name. It fucking sucks. But I know Hazuki definitely would want to have her redemption arc, because I feel like she hasn't really had like that big spotlight since she's returned as like a single star. When she came back from retirement back in 2021, that was the last time she contested for the red belt. And for the white belt, I think it was last year against Saya, if I remember right. So Maika Hazuki definitely has something to prove in this tournament for their side. For B, I dubbed this group the group of death. Primarily because you have a lot of very, very good talent grouped up together. Mayu, your IWGP Women's Champion. Tom Nakano, who is right now hunting for Mayu's belt, as well as the World of Stardom Championship, because she had to drop it last year. She had to vacate it because she was injured. You have Momo Watanabe, who's like one of the seasoned vets of the company. Same with Azumi. Like Mayu, Momo, Azumi, like vets of Stardom. I know Azumi, she just joined Mei Seira along with like a bunch of others for Neo Genesis. And I know Azumi definitely would want to hunt for a belt, whether it be Natsukoi's Wonder Stardom Championship, Mei Seira's High Speed, the IWGP, or even the Wonder Belt. I know she's definitely proved herself ever since she started like in Stardom. Like, she has so much talent. A damn near 10-year vet. I know Mei Seira just won the High Speed belt. As I previously mentioned, she defeated Saya Kamitani at the last pay-per-view. I know Saida failed to get the High Speed belt from Saya. So I could potentially see a title match between the two of Mei Seira and Mayu, maybe. And Tomoka Inaba, I feel may or may not be the dark horse of this. Very talented individual, held the women's championship over at Just Tap Out for a while. I think she lost to I don't remember who she lost to, but she's held that belt for such a long time. Like, this is like an all-star squad. And Blue Stars A, I know Anna Jay is like the surprise participant, or one of them. They announced her again at last week's show. Sarino just lost her Wonder Stardom Championship belt, so maybe she could be hunting for either Natsupoi's Wonder Belt or even the World of Stardom Championship. It is possible. I know Siri definitely wants to have her challenge against Natsuko for the red belt, and in a sense try to avenge herself because she did get crossed by Konami. I know she has trust issues with a lot of people right now, primarily because of Konami betraying her. She turned her back on God's Eye, went to Hate, and all Siri has now is Ami Sarai, who is out with injury, Saki Kashima, who's in Blue Stars B, and Rani Agami, who's also in Blue Stars B, and like that's kind of it. She's in this alone. Starlight Kid recently created Neo Genesis with Mio Amasaki, Azumi, Mei Sarah, Suzu Suzuki, and I personally feel has a lot of momentum riding on her right now. The one match that I want to see so bad, because we got robbed of this last year due to injury, I want to see Starlight Kid and Mai Iwatani. That's like the one match I want to see. I know Xena's first Grand Prix too, so this will be quite the interesting one. Koguma, a vet as well, alongside Starlight Kid, Mayu, so on and so forth. Anna Jay is... I don't watch AEW. Like, no offense to the AEW people, like, I've only seen minimal stuff of Anna Jay, so I can't say too much. So, this will be very interesting to see how she is coming into a round-robin style tournament. I don't think she's gonna make it far, or even make it out, but I want to see if she can improve out here. And Mio Amasaki, again, proves herself. She defeated Lady C to get this spot. So we just have to kind of see how she does. And last but not least, Blue Stars B. Suzu Suzuki recently coming back from injury. Saya Kamatani recently again turning her back on Micah on ENX's V to join Hate. I fucking hate that name so much. It reminds me of like House of Torture, and I do not like House of Torture. But again, Sai Kamatani is like the fallen phoenix. She lost Queen's Quest, or she lost to Tommy. She lost Queen's Quest. She lost the high speed belt, and she was going on a downward spiral until she joined Hate. And now we can finally, I guess we can see how Saya is as a heel, but I don't know. I'm still like very iffy on this whole situation because it's not just me that's saying this, but I know there are a few people that I know that wanted to see Saya win the 5-star and redeem herself. This would have been her redemption arc. Like, Queen's Quest is just down to the final member, and Saya is trying to prove herself that she can do this. I knew she won the Catch the Wave tournament, but what did it cost? She won the Catch the Wave tournament. She's the leader of Queen's Quest, but what did it cost? Literally everything. So I know Saya has a lot going into this tournament. Hanan, they strapped a rocket to her like, what was it, this year and like last year? Won Cinderella. Almost beats, who she almost beat? Sorry No for the white belt. One of the other like big names to come out of Stars. Again, homegrown talent, has been around for a while. Like, we want to see if Hanan can break through that ceiling known as the lower mid card and work her way up to the upper mid or even the main event scene. Saki Kashima, again with Siri, like she's telling Siri like, you ain't got nothing to worry about, because I don't want to face you later on down the road. Like, just in general, I'd rather be by your side than be opposite of you in the ring. Ronnie Agami, again, like a newer member of the Stardom roster, and this will be her first Grand Prix. I think it was supposed to be Ami Sarai, but then Ami Sarai got injured, and she's like having surgery on her knee, so Rana took her place, I believe. You can tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. Tekla joining this year. She was supposed to be in it last year, but I think she was injured, if I remember right. Either she was injured or she took her hiatus, one of the two. And Risa Sera coming back to Stardom for the Grand Prix. She wasn't in it last year, but she was in it the year prior. And the one match I want to see at the end on the final night, I want to see Suzu Suzuki versus Risa Sera. And for those that don't know, Suzu Suzuki was a member of a organization / promotion called Prominence. It was Suzu Suzuki, Risa Sera, Mochi Natsumi, Akane Fujita, and Kurumi Hiragi. They were like the 5. It was supposed to be like a deathmatch like promotion. Suzu left to join Stardom. And these two, I don't think have faced off against each other in a singles competition since then. So this would be great, in my opinion. But going to predictions for who's gonna make it out of their respective groups, who's gonna make it out of who's gonna be like the final one in their respective block. It's like who's gonna win to represent the Red Stars going against the Blue Stars. I'm gonna say two names, maybe 3 at most, that can possibly make it out. First things first, it's gonna be Maika out of A. Maika has unfinished business. Her story ain't done. Just because she lost the Wonder Stardom belt doesn't mean like it's wraps. She can potentially win the Grand Prix because she didn't win last year. Suzu won last year, but she did win the belt at the year-end show. And I knew people were riding high on Maika's red belt run. It was a good run. So I mean, Maika definitely has something to prove going into this. This is her redemption arc. So, Maika, Hazuki, and like it's a toss between Hazuki and Natsupoi. So again, with Hazuki, she's been around the block. This ain't her first rodeo. She almost won it, I think, 2022, but then like fumbled it like towards the end. But Hazuki, I know she just needs to break out of like singles. So like, or break out as like a single star just this time around. So I would want Hazuki to make it out of Red Stars. Is it more than Maika? No, but it would be really cool if she would be able to make it out. Natsupoi, same thing. But do I think Natsupoi's gonna make it out? Probably not. Mainly because she's a champion. Usually champions don't win tournaments like this. That's one reason why Natsuko Tora withdrew her position. Because 1, it's a waste of her time. 2, if she won, who's she gonna face? She can't face herself. So that's why in replacement they're gonna have Ruaka. So my 2 to 3 choices: Maika, Hazuki / Natsupoi. For Blue Stars or Red Stars B, this one for me was one of the harder ones. Because like you have all this talent in one pool. Like, this sucks. It's hard to pick just one. Like, yeah, Momo Watanabe, who hasn't had her red belt run ever, she's been robbed of it. Like, she's only had her Wonder Stardom reign. She has the tag titles. She has the Goddess of Stardom belts. But she has yet to win the big one. Then again, you have Tom Nakano. You have Tom Road. She wants her belt back. And the more I think of it, the more I would want to see Tom or Momo make it out. Azumi would have been nice. But I feel like it's just gonna be just a hair away. Tom could win red belt. She could win the IWGP belt. Momo, again, one of the bigger names in this group too. You have Mayu, but Mayu has won this already. I think she's won the Grand Prix. She doesn't really have anything else to prove. The story that she has going on is she wants to surpass Kazuchika Okada's IWGP title reign with the most defenses. I think it's like 12 or like 13. Mayu wants to surpass it. So she has that going on. Togenaba, like, is cool, but I don't think they're gonna have her win this. Saida, like, compared to everybody else, I don't think you're gonna win this. Mei Sarah, you have the high-speed belt. It would be cool if you won, but it's not gonna happen. And I feel like Azumi's just gonna be robbed from Momo. Like, I think the first night they're doing Tom and Mayu for the start of the Grand Prix. It would be kind of cool if they did Azumi and Momo for the last night, but I don't know. Now, going back to Blue Stars, my two, and like, again, I had to think about this for like a while. Siri has, again, a redemption arc that she can have with getting betrayed by Konami. She wants to face off against Konami in the ring, which would be cool for a finals. It's going to be God's Eye and Hate, like in each respective quarters, and they're just going to brawl it out. And plus, these are like the two one of the two stiffest workers in Stardom. But again, you have Sari No, who could want to aspire for bigger things. She could go for the red belt. She could go for any belt that she wants. Then Starlight Kid, one of the more popular members of the roster. But then, like, you have the sleeper pick. You have Koguma, and you have Xena. But again, like, my 2 to 3 is Siri, Sari No, Starlight Kid, no particular order. And then for Blue Stars, B. If you want to go for potential, you go Hanan. If you look at it in the future, like the future long term, you go Hanan. If you go for what's going on right now, you have Saya. I can make a very bold prediction that I know won't happen. Saya wins, takes on Tora, crosses Tora, wins the red belt. I'm thinking too ambitious, but that will be very, very cool. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Saya, Hanan, Suzu are my personal picks. Suzu mainly because she won last year and she could be a back-to-back. And let's say for Red Stars A, let's do like Maika Momo. You have Maika win, or like Maika Tom, or someone. Like, I personally want Maika to win this, like win the group, like win the block. Like, you could do Maika Tom. Maika Tom would be great for a final. So I mean, it's hard to think Maika's can't win this. And then if you go towards Blue Stars, you can run, I don't know, you can run Sari No Saya, or even like Starlight Kid Hanan, Starlight Kid Saya, Sari No Hanan. Like, these are all like excellent matches they can run. If I had to pick, if you wanna strap a rocket onto Starlight Kid, now is like your chance. And that's just me being biased because I've been a Starlight Kid fan since I started watching Stardom back in 2021, right as she got forced into Owato Tai. I wanted something different. I picked Starlight Kid, and look at me now. I'm eating good. And let's say Saya wins. You run Maika Saya in the finals. Either one can win. Or you run like Tom Hanan, or like Tom and Starlight, or Tom and Sari No. That's potentially a certified hood classic in my book. Like, those would be like my personal picks for who I'd want to see in the finals. Like between Micah, Tom, Momo, Sari, Starlight Kid, Saya, Hanan. Those are my personal picks on who I think could win this. And again, like if you just kind of go back, you can hear my thoughts on all of this. The 5-Star Grand Prix starts next week. It's usually a pay-per-view, so just keep that in mind. But those are my picks, thoughts, predictions on the 5-Star Grand Prix. It starts the 13th, I believe. Or the 12th. I know it starts next week. So the 5-Star Grand Prix starts next week. I'm gonna try to keep up with all the matches. It's gonna be a little tough because of scheduling, and I got a lot of stuff going on within like the next couple months. Wrestling's been doing pretty good. I know, like once again, I'm gonna try to start doing more wrestling stuff like outside, so I may or may not be uploading more or less. So if you want to keep up with all this, like this video, comment, and let me know what your thoughts are. If you want to hear and or see some of the action, and if we do watch-alongs for the Grand Prix, like the pay-per-views and all that, the link to the Discord's down below. We do watch-alongs, we talk, we chat, we just kick and hang out and whatnot. So feel free to join. I don't ask for anything other than if you join, cool. If not, I'm not forcing you to. The option is there. So thank you all for watching, and I will hopefully catch you on the next video and or stream. Peace.